Hey Cardinals fans, welcome to the Redbird Rundown. I'm Jonathan, here with Matt and Andy, and we have a great episode for you today. You can email the pod at redbirdrundownpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at redbirdrundown2, and find us on Facebook at Redbird Rundown Podcast. Please take a moment to follow, rate, and review the pod on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We appreciate the strong support for our first episode, and we'd like to grow the show so that more Cardinal fans can join in on the conversation. And that's the best way to help us out. But before we get into the rundown today, guys, what's been up since we've last spoke?
Did you guys happen to check out the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight? I mean, I think that's the thing everybody was talking about around the sports world. And
saw that it broke Netflix, but did not get into.
Yeah, I read about
the
that.
Opportunity to take it in and vet it myself.
So
not a second.
It was like 60 million people is what the ratings came out, and the highest concurrent was 65 million on Netflix. And it was only like 150,000 people experienced according to Netflix, experienced like an outage trying to access that fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't like all of Netflix broke for the 65 million people. But yeah, first of all, it wasn't much of a fight.
Okay.
And I was a little bit surprised by that because I got jazzed up on watching a Mike Tyson. Like
Mike Tyson's 60 years old, 59 years old.
Like 58.
Yeah.
Well, I watched his training video, right, of him like unleashing. But yeah, honestly, kudos to Mike Tyson for getting in the ring at 58 years old.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he got $20 million
for taking that all the way to the bank too. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sure. But like he almost died in June. Like his words in the post fight interview that he lost 25 pounds. He did. he lost 25 pounds and yeah, just about died. So I mean, I knew as soon as I like saw it and that he's in a knee brace, I was like, well, this is not gonna be great. Because if I'm Jake Paul, I'm doing exactly what he did. You guys said you didn't watch any of it, Matt. You didn't.
Not 1 second, no.
Well, okay. So people weren't real happy because even like if you watch a highlight reel, it's gonna be like 2.5 minutes on a that was 8 rounds of 16-minute fight, and there's not a lot of haymakers thrown. There's not a lot of like bruising. Like it's a lot of Jake Paul throwing left jabs at Mike and making Mike walk around the ring chasing him. And
yeah,
I mean that's exactly what Jake
Mike
said.
Mike is closer to the retirement home than being a prime athlete. So like that's just kind of how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm fighting Mike Tyson at 35, I'm 100% doing what Jake Paul did. Like the man is almost 60. I'm gonna run him. I'm gonna gas him because, especially in that first round, Iron Mike came out and he hit a combo on Jake, and I think that was that moment where Jake kind of backed off a bit. But I can definitely see why people were like, we got played. Like everyone got played.
I have nothing.
The reason why this is so interesting to people, like what is it about Mike Tyson that is it just like he went to prison, he lost everything, he's kind of an interesting guy?
Have you watched his like career highlights of like his knockout?
Oh well, sure, yeah. I mean, at his peak, he was unreal.
He is vicious.
No ears were safe in his prime. I'll tell you.
He was doing that weird. He was doing exactly, and he was biting his mitts during the fight. And I was like, well, I guess he learned a little bit. At least he's not gnawing on ears. It's his mitts.
I gotta respect them both for just earning an insane amount of money, but yeah. I kind of think this is it represents us as a country really well anymore. That when influencers hype something, the substance doesn't have to be there, but if it's hyped, people will watch it. So those guys got he got 40 or 50 million, and Mike got 20 to do essentially nothing.
Wow, is this honestly, we're on the decline phase of the Roman Empire take here? How do you like this is
I think that if I was an actual boxing fan, I'd be upset at the mockery that was made of the sport. But again, I respect the hustle.
Because I mean, if you look, I watched Jake Paul. I watched a training video of him of the fitness influencer on YouTube that he worked out with, and he's in there doing a boxing session, like a workout where he's like got 15-pound dumbbells in each hand doing punches. And I am not a boxer nor a world athlete, but I have done a couple of workouts. Yeah, right. I have done a couple of workouts where I have weights and I'm thrown like doing something similar to that. Your shoulders are on fire almost instantly. And so respect that, they train for 6, 8, 9, 10 hours a day to go do that. It's
I kind of this may not be an overly popular take, but I just kind of think somebody like an actual professional heavyweight boxer needs to take him into the ring and just lay him out and
clean
put us
the
all
clock
out of our national nightmare because like I was seeing videos of him walking in and like he just looks like he needs to be hooked up to a plow, not like going into a boxing ring. Like can we get this guy out of here? Like let's knock him out. Let's be done.
A couple takes is that even though like Jake Paul is still abrasive, that they would rather have this version of Jake Paul than years prior Jake Paul. Like I don't know how much you are into like the YouTube universe and that at all. Like do you know where like Jake Paul came from? Anything like that?
I have like a vague notion of I'm essentially you as a Cardinals fan as a Jake Paul. Like
he wasn't great
about him, but okay, yeah.
He wasn't great. And so the basic thing was like this was a better Jake Paul than he's still not great, but is better than what it had been, basically. Either way.
It's interesting. Heavyweight boxers, but I wish a pro would just get in there and just lay him out so we could be done with this.
I think that's why it generates so much. That's what people wanted. People wanted to see him get his lights absolutely knocked out.
The only heavyweight boxer I know is good old Butterbean.
Put the butter in there.
Put the butter in there.
That's a fun
He's got to be in his 50s too. He may not be able to do it either, but put him in there. Let's get it going.
I'll leave you guys with this one final take. I saw on the internet, someone said that when Jake Paul was walking in, like to the arena, he looks like an Eastern European drug lord that would be killed in the first 10 minutes of a Jason Statham movie, which is hilarious.
That's exactly right.
And so true. But anyway, all right, cool. We're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back with some news.
All right, welcome back. And I'll tell you this, as the casual Cardinals fan, I have been a little bit hesitant about this coming season just because I honestly don't go to a ton of Cardinals games. And if there's not a real reason for me to go, I'm not going to go. So in my despair, I was doing a Google search and said, Google, give me a reason to be hopeful for the Cardinal season this year. And I came across a player that I'd like us to talk about for all the casual listeners out there. Thomas Saggese came up, and he was. You have to explain a little bit of this to me. He was in the Arizona Fall League, but he had some pretty impressive stats. This article and video that I was kind of watching. So, Jonathan, can you first of all can you tell me what exactly the Arizona Fall League is when it comes to the Cardinals?
Yeah. So the Arizona Fall League is a continuation of the major league season, the minor league season after the World Series ends. And actually it might be during as well, but it's towards the end of the season. And basically each team gets to pick a couple of prospects that they want to represent them, and they play for a various number of random team names. So Saggese was one of them that was picked from the Cardinals. And the stats you referred to, I have them written down here. So in 64 at-bats, he's slashing 391 average, a 524 on base, and a 594 slugging with a 1,118 OPS. So for all those folks, casual or not, that's an incredibly good line. And he also has more walks than he has strikeouts. So none of that, though, let me just caveat, none of that is surprising because Saggese is a legitimate major league player. So in the Arizona Fall League, you could have people in AA or AAA, or maybe even these hybrid AAA to major league players. So I suspected Saggese was going to go out there and mash that pitching and do well, just because I think that he is a legitimate major league player. But that is the Fall League.
Where is he currently? Is in our farm system? Is he
played,
a AA guy?
No. He played the majority of AAA.
Did he make an appearance?
He played in September for the Cardinals. Yeah. Didn't like the world on fire, but hit home run, made an appearance kind of.
And the follow-up question, this Arizona Fall League, is this like the minor leagues version of the travel team?
I've heard it. People say that it's like a finishing school for prospects. Like you send the guys that are close to done, and if everybody sends their guys that are close to done, you're kind of getting like about as good of a competition as you can get from the minor leagues. So these are not like the 27, 28-year-olds still in AAA, which, all props to those guys for being incredible baseball players, but their
Yeah.
time as a prospect is kind of past. So these are usually like the best of the best guys. These are the guys that the teams want to see, like, can they really do this or not?
I see. And it is like Thomas Sajaci was nominated by the Cardinals, correct? Like it's not like voted on by other people like, hey, we want to see this kid.
No, right. To put it in more perspective, the Cardinals sent Jordan Walker. Back in his day, the Cardinals sent Pujols. So we're sending our.
So this is a good thing.
Yes,
these are people that we may see and make an impact. Like I said, like we may see a Sajaci in 2-3 years or sooner. What do you guys think?
No, I think now. I think 2025. Yeah. And two things real quick. I was just going to ask you, Andy. Where do we think the name Sajaci comes from? What a weird one. I just looked it up. Where do you think it comes from? Both of you guys give a guess. Andy,
Etymology corner.
Yeah, I figured I'd spice it up.
Let's go. It's from Poland.
Poland, okay. All right, Matt, your guess?
I'm thinking Italian.
It is Italian. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
It is Italian.
Yeah, I had that ravioli flowing through my blood.
Now you're gonna guess like a name meaning? Is this like Life Bloom from last episode, or was that it? Thomas the Italian? Was that it? That's all we had?
Thomas the Italian. There it is.
Thomas the Italian.
There it is. I love it. Okay, second thing, more serious about the at-bats. 64 is a small sample size, obviously. But him doing this proves to me that he is a major league player, or at least good enough to play. If he went out there and struggled, I think I would have been a little scared. So anyway, those are my final thoughts on just the fall league specifically.
Yeah, what I like about this is the way we picked him up. So, Andrew, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but a couple of years ago, we had the lefty Jordan Montgomery was going for us, and the Cardinals, for the first time in quite a while, like actually were sellers at the trade deadline, and so we picked him up in the Jordan Montgomery deal. Now, for the Rangers, I mean, they went on to win a World Series, so props to them. I'm sure they do this trade 100 times out of 100, but I would also too for a season that wasn't going anywhere, and we're able to pick up Sajaci. Now, do I think he's going to be like an incredible superstar? I do not. But if you can get an everyday position player out of 2 months of a lefty pitcher, I think that's a great pickup as far as that is concerned. And I think it's also worth saying too, I don't know exactly where he played in the field in the fall league, but he primarily has played second base and third base. But I did see too, Memphis last year, he was playing quite a bit of shortstop. So obviously when
that's what I was about to say. Like, where does he fit in here?
Right.
Yeah, I think so. In the fall league, he played third base, but he also played second, and like you said, shortstop. And I think for 2025,
the Cardinals are doing that for a reason. You think that literally is the Cardinals saying, "Hey, we have Mason Wynn. Let's see if we can get another guy up the middle or on the hot corner."
I think that like I said in the last episode, I was going to say we hired Brandon Crawford, but that feels like he's a contractor that's going to come dig out a pool or something. We signed Crawford as a backup to Wynn, and I think Sajaci can just do that to a degree. If Wynn's going to play 150 games, which he did, then Sajaci can do that, but he can also play the other positions depending upon what we do with Arenado. But I will say this, I'm interested to hear what you guys think about this. There's no way that I am taking at-bats and playing time away from Nolan Gorman for Sajaci yet. I don't think so either. Okay, I have to see what Nolan Gorman is. He was really struggled last year, but this is specifically for Sajaci. He backs up all of them. Shortstop, second, third, finds ways to get in the lineup. Yep.
And as we discussed last week, if Arenado is the veteran that's open to the trade, which we don't have strict confirmation on that, but process of elimination makes me think that Nolan would be okay packing his bags. If we do that, then I think that you give Sajaci a run as a starter. And you see, and again, should our expectations like this guy's winning Rookie of the Year, he's an all-star down the road, that may be too much, but you also kind of never know with these prospects. Some guys figure it out at the major league level and they're able to adjust. And so if we're going towards this youth movement anyway, if Arenado is gone, then I think you just run him out there every day and you just kind of see what you get out of him.
Yeah, because like you said, Jonathan, I mean, I know it's a small sample size, the 64 at bats, but just like you guys said about this Arizona Fall League. No, is it Shohei Ohtani when he comes back from his shoulder surgery? Is that who's pitching out there? No, but also one of those guys might be a Paul Skeens in the Fall League before they make it onto the MLB scene. So he's batting almost 400 against guys who, according to other MLB organizations, are halfway decent, are legitimate MLB prospects.
I totally agree.
In an age where you're seeing the batting average fall, and I know there's other metrics that people look at to see what the offensive productivity is of a player, and batting average isn't necessarily the end all be all. But when you see from a traditional side of things, the batting averages across the MLB are not 391.
No. And this is only 64 at bats. And if you go back last year and you look at his numbers at Memphis, he batted 253. His on base was 313. His slugging was 438. So those numbers are obviously not nearly. He's being named as an all-star to the Arizona Fall League. Of course, that's much more than 64 at bats. But I should note too, that was a slow start at Memphis, and I think he started adjusting, and he was much stronger at the end of the year. So if you want a comp for this guy, I don't know if we want to do something like this, and Jonathan, you can tell me what you think about this. I think the comp is like right-handed Matt Carpenter. He has no batting gloves. I'll just say that at the beginning.
That's what he said. That's why I saw that. The video I found was of him. It was like an interview, and that's what he said. Describe your play, and he's like, I don't know if I can describe myself as gritty, but gritty. Like I don't have like batting gloves. Like I'm about that. Like let's get some of that.
Italian right-handed Matt Carpenter. Just splash a little salsa on him and just see what happens.
That's
Matt
exactly
Carpenter
right.
was not a big name touted prospect. I think he's a great example of a guy who figured it out as he went at the major leagues. And Matt Carpenter last year is not the Matt Carpenter that's going to have a red jacket in the Cardinals Hall of Fame. Like that would be a wonderful outcome for Thomas Saggese to be able to do that.
If Saggese starts slapping dubs like Matt Carpenter, we are in some serious business. I will say though, if you go back to his AA stats, which some people argue that the jump from AA to AAA is harder than AAA to the majors, but I think that that's like use case driven because sometimes it's proven right, sometimes it's not. But he was the AA like player of the year when he got traded from Texas. He hit 25 home runs. So he has it, and I'm very thankful that we have him now as opposed to Montgomery this year because we're going to let these guys play and see what we have. He seems like a guy that you're going to give him some time to play, and he's going to produce at least something. And if he's Marp level, that is, one of the better trades we've ever done.
Yes. I also think if we get like a Brendan Donovan, and again, Donovan's a lefty and Saggese is a righty, but Donovan strikes me as a guy like, yes, he can play third. Yes, he can play second. Donnie's shown the ability to play the outfield pretty well. And if you can get those guys are very valuable too, because it's like you have 10 starters sort of, because Donovan can spell everybody and go around the diamond and everybody can get off days and you're plugging in somebody who can hit and field. And I think Saggese's kind of that mold of a guy. He's more of like a glue to keep the roster together instead of like your star of the roster. But if he can develop into something like that, again, I think that's incredibly valuable for 2 months of Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah. And, both Saggese and Mason Wynn, 22. So in terms of the future, that is it. That last episode, Matt, you made probably my favorite point was, why are we having 37-year-olds do the job of the AAA guys? And here we have someone. I'm glad we're talking about somebody who's young and 22, got a lot of baseball in him, obviously talented. So let's go to the other 22-year-old actually, just for a second. We have Mason Wynn as well. Blaze, by the way, if you want the middle name.
That's correct.
I'm going to steal your girl and make you say thank you. Yes, that's him.
That's him.
He had a tough go at Rookie of the Year because of the class that was there. We have the NL has some prospects come out this past year. So it's tough look. Paul Skeens, definitely a very strong candidate, right?
Nothing you could do.
Rookie of the Year. Yeah.
And Cy Young.
Like,
true.
The mustache king, Paul Skeens.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh boy, yeah. He's rocking it for sure.
He is.
I don't think you feel bad if you're Mason Wynn getting snubbed when it comes to Paul Skeens. Like you just are like,
Yeah.
This dude
Yeah.
came on the scene, and
I just got to say, he has a mustache and he plays for the Pirates. I'm so grateful for that because I feel like if you play for the Pirates, you
the
need
mustache
to look
king, man.
dirty.
You're right.
You know, like you
you
are a
should
pirate.
look like a pirate. Yes, you are correct. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Continue.
And so the three finalists, right, for Rookie of the Year: Skeens, Jackson Merrill, and Jackson Churio. Okay, so Merrill, let's walk through some of these guys and compare them to Mason Wynn, and perhaps why we get a Mason Wynn snub.
Mm-hmm.
Because do you guys feel as though that a lot of these awards, minus Paul Skeens, of course, just because the dude was coming in throwing absolute gas, I feel as though that offensive production is definitely favored. I feel like that the only time that defensive play gets awarded and acknowledged is just the Golden Glove finalists, and that's it. So, like, if you go to like Rookie of the Year or MVP, like, I don't know if the defensive gets as much weight. And so because of that, so let's talk about, we already mentioned Paul Skeens. Okay, Jackson Merrill is the outfielder, primarily center field for the Padres. And he's 21, so a year younger than them. Got some, he had some great offensive firepower. So I can understand why this guy, he's 292, 326, 500 with 24 home runs, 90 RBIs. Pretty good production from a rookie. Yeah?
Yeah, yes. Yes, absolutely.
So, and compare it. So let's compare it to Mason Wynn's line.
Yeah.
Right. 267, 314, 416 with 15 homers and 57 RBIs, leading off pretty much all year for the Cardinals, right? So those lines, I can also see why maybe Mason Wynn isn't ahead of this guy. Yeah, because Jackson Merrill, that's pretty good line.
Yeah.
The one that I think, if we're Cardinals fans, and we say, hey, hold on a second, I think we got overlooked here, is Jackson Churio versus Mason Wynn. I think that this is the one that Mason got a bit snubbed here. So the offensive side, very similar. We have Churio going 275 versus Mason Wynn's 267 batting average. Okay, 327 versus 314, 464 to 416. A lot of numbers, basically the same. They're right there with each other. We have Churio with 21 home runs and 79 RBIs. Okay. I just think that if we factor in the defensive play of Mason Wynn, that he should have been in the top three. Matt, your thoughts about that?
Well, I can see where you're coming from. I also suspect that if we went and looked at Merrill and Churio's defensive metrics, which I don't have offhand, I suspect that they are also pretty good defenders at a premium defensive position in center field. I don't know if this also factors in, but the Padres and Brewers at least finished with better records and both made the playoffs. And so I don't know if that matters in terms of Rookie of the Year. I realize it's kind of an individual award, but Churio ended the year. That's the one that's going to hurt Cardinals fans for like the next 15 years or however long the Brewers hold on to him. This dude's 20 years old, and he finished the year in the middle of the Brewers order and like had some big moments in the playoffs. And it's not going to be a fun next however long the Brewers have Churio for. I agree. I see your point. I have no problem with those three being the finalists, and I still feel great about Mason Wynn's season. I think he had an awesome season, but I don't really have like a huge snub alert here and as far as Rookie of the Year goes.
Yeah, and they're going to have him for 7 more years. They signed him to 8 years, 83 million before the year. So they signed him to that before he ever played an inning of Major League Baseball. So they were certain that he was going to be something. Now, when I'm just browsing over Churio's stats, because I think that Merrill and Skeens are no doubt. Merrill is one of the better center fielders in the entire game, and that is a position that is difficult to do, to be so demanding on the offensive side and then also do something defensively. The thing that stands out with Churio is he was not good at the beginning of the year. He was bad for 2 months, and they just let him play. So his stats are not necessarily like truly indicative of how good he was. But the thing that's really showing out to me is, so Mason stole 11 bases in 2024. And if there's one thing that I hope he gets better at, it's stealing bases. Because he hit 15 home runs. I don't know that people realize. Like, Churio only hit 22.
For shortstop. Yeah.
He had a little bit of pop. And but Chourio doubled the amount of stolen bases. Now that's not everything, but that's a facet of Mason's game that he could be better at. And I hope that he is, because he seems like he's fast enough. It just, I don't know if he's got like the right read time. Anyway, if there's going to be one, I think it's Chourio, but Cheerios.
Well,
but
and as far as the narrative goes, now this is batting average, so again there are other metrics as well. But in the first half, Wynn was batting 284, and he ended the second half batting 247. So he came back down to earth, and I think that's some of Major League pitching started adjusting to Mason Wynn, and it's hard to adjust back. And so Chourio made good adjustments, and I'm not saying Wynn couldn't adjust or didn't adjust, but if Wynn had finished hotter than he started, I think in terms of like the narrative for those awards, you might have seen something a little bit different, even though if you look back on it, the whole season is the whole season. So that's not a great way to fill out your ballot in terms of what I'm thinking. But again, those two outfielders are starring for playoff teams, and I think that does matter as far as awards go.
Yeah. So Matt, are you saying that the hitting coach matters? Do you think that the Brewers have a better hitting coach? Brant Brown, you have your work cut out, sir.
I think that the Cardinals should copy and paste as much stuff from the Brewers as we possibly can. It pains me so bad to say this because I hate the Brewers. I hate their stadium. I hate the colors of their. I mean, I
have you been there?
These people. I don't actually hate them. That is not one. I'm looking to maybe do it on spring break, but like just on TV, it just looks so bad. I hate everything about the Brewers, and yet
now this is one with the slides, payroll, right?
They're beating us. Yeah, I mean they've got a better record than us. They churn these guys out. It's like they stole the Cardinals' devil magic, and it's now Brewers' devil magic, and I'm pretty upset about it, to be honest.
I agree. They do have a slide. That's the only thing I'm going to say. And their mascot broke his
Jonathan,
arm.
have you been down the slide?
Going down it. No, I haven't.
Can people go down the slide?
I don't think so. It's kind of terrifying because it's on like the fourth deck up there, and he like runs and slides. Like if he hit it too hard, he's falling.
Yeah.
But okay, so I got two stats I pulled on Mason that I really want to share because this gives me quite a bit of hope here. Not that I didn't have hope with him, but so when you talk about Chourio and Merrill, it's extreme. Just the hitters. I'm not talking about Skeens because that's just a totally
Skeens are free.
That's unimpeachable. Like he's got to win.
He could win. Winner. He could do both. Yeah. If you look at Merrill and Chourio, they're slugging. They hit the ball harder. Their average exit velocity is higher, right? But I'll tell you two stats that Mason Wynn has that are a little bit better is his whiff percentage and K percentage. Okay, what does that mean?
Okay.
It means that his whiff percentage is lower. He's not swinging and missing a lot, so he's making a lot of contact, which I personally like, and he's not striking out a lot. So the problem is Mason looks like he's about 135 soaking wet. Okay. Whenever he hits it, he's not hitting it super hard, which is fine because in the entire year, here's the second stat. Those are the first two I like. The second stat is he was fifth in the entire league in batting average with 2 strikes. Okay.
Yes.
The two people,
2-strike hitter.
Yeah. The two people above him, 2 of the 5 were Stephen Kwan, who was literally batting like 700 for 2 months. Unbelievable on the Guardians, and Jose Ramirez. So those
also
two
the
things.
Guardians.
Yep. Also the Guardians. When you meld those together, he doesn't miss when he swings very often, and he doesn't strike out very often, and he gets hits with 2 strikes. That is a valuable hitter and a valuable leadoff hitter at that. I just hope if you can couple that with some stolen bases, he will be even better.
So you're saying Mason probably... Oh, go ahead.
I have to tell you, we have to get Mason Wynn out of the leadoff spot ASAP.
Yeah.
At least until he grows a little more. Because I looked up his stats at leadoff. He was rocking a 290 on base from the leadoff position. And you can't have that. At this point in his career as a rookie, now that's a lot to put on a guy. He doesn't draw enough walks. He's not on base enough to be a table setter like that. But again, am I excited about Mason Wynn? I think he's great. He had a 3.6 WAR season in his rookie year. And just for all the Cardinals fans out there, tell me a shortstop with crazy good defense, good base running, and an average hitter. I mean, who does that sound like? I hate to put that on Mason Wynn, but like this is Ozzie Smith. If he continues on this path, I realize that is rarefied air to be saying something like that.
David Eckstein.
I think he got robbed for a Gold Glove, and he should start his career as a Gold Glove. Will I take that for the next 15 years? Yes, I will, without hesitation or reservation. Sign me up.
So do you think that Mason growing up got a lot of good eye, Mason? Good eye. The mom up there.
100%.
That's the one that drives me nuts. Going to one, when I was playing, and two, listening to parents. That one bothers me. Just the one eye, good eye.
Oh, just one eye, because it's as though you have one
good
closed.
eye. That's all they say.
Yeah.
It's good eye.
Where you're saying most people have two eyes.
Exactly. Yes. And then the heads up. That just a
that's
tangent there. Heads up.
Throw strikes. Okay, Mom. Didn't know I was trying to pitch and throw strikes. So sorry. I will try now.
That one, that's a whole separate thing. That one gets me angry.
Yes, it is.
The heads up though makes me mad, because it's just like, no, because people are not going to track that ball that quickly from the stands. Heads up. Look up so you can get hit right in the nose.
Turns out most parents do not need to be major league scouts. Just stick to your children. It'll be all right.
Down. Just cover your children up. Okay.
I do have a. Yeah, go ahead. No, you go.
Well, I was just gonna say another around the league news here is that we have a former Cardinal manager being nominated for manager of the year.
Yeah.
And that is Mike Shildt. So Matt, what are we thinking in terms of how hard is that to swallow as a Cardinals fan watching him in the Padres and the run? Look what they did against the Dodgers, and the Dodgers went in and made the Yankees look like nothing, and the Padres gave up more of a fight to the Dodgers. And Mike's leading that squad now. So what's that feel like to you versus what we have in Ollie?
I certainly have some takes on a managerial position, but before I give those takes, can I just hit you guys back real quick? If Mike Shildt was not a baseball manager, from his outward appearance, what does it look like Mike Shilt's job would be if he was not a baseball manager?
I got a really good one right off the top of my head here.
Hit it.
He is an assistant manager at Dick's Sporting Goods.
I think he looks like he sells crop insurance. He is just the most unassuming guy in the world. Andy, you got any thoughts on?
Well, it just depends. Just Google his image. The second one is not flattering, and it looks like he is from deep south.
Sure.
Poverty stricken deep south.
Yeah.
And he is just the guy at the gas station that pumps the gas. He's not
the cashier. He's the guy standing at the pump.
Yeah. And there's not actually a job to do that. But that's what he does.
So is that, you said that second picture is not flattering. Does it kind of look like he's shielding himself? Ooh, that might be a stretch.
Oh, as far as managing, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I like baseball. I try to follow baseball. I try to read a lot about baseball. I don't know for sure what I think is a manager's fault and what I think the manager should get credit for. It's kind of like being the president of the United States. Anything that goes good, you get to kind of say oh yeah, I did that. And anything that goes bad, regardless of whether or not you have anything to do with it at all. So am I happy for Mike Shildt? Yes, I am. Does it hurt a little bit? It does. But realistically speaking, if you switched Shildt and Ollie, is there any difference at all? I don't know if there's any difference at all as far as that is concerned. The one big pro, before I ask Jonathan to weigh in here, the one big pro I would say for Shildt is whatever he and John Mozeliak, the Cardinals GM, whatever they disagreed about philosophically was enough to get Shildt fired. And I will say, based on the last 2 years of Cardinals baseball performance, I think Shildt might have been selling the right kind of crop insurance in that argument. I don't know what that was. I've never seen reporting for that, but he may have been right, and Mo just may have been wrong on that. But anyway, Jonathan, what do you think?
That is the most bizarre thing that has happened in the Cardinals in the last probably 10 years. They are so even keeled. Yes. They don't ever do anything like that. And they're going to give this guy, assuming we're going to give him an extension after he's won 90 games. They wanted a 17-game win streak. Okay,
yeah, that's crazy.
And just quick side note on that. Once we started winning 2 or 3 games, I said, well, it must be because I'm not watching, and I didn't watch for 17 games, so you're welcome. Okay? But no, yeah, you're right, Matt. That is fascinating, and if we could ever get information on that, I would absolutely love that, because I think he absolutely got the raw end of the deal out of St. Louis. I didn't think that we were going to, for goodness sake, fire the guy. Yeah. I thought we were going to extend him, but the whole argument between him and Ollie, so Shildt won 90 games a couple times, took us to the playoffs. He took over for Matheny, right?
Oh, God.
And That
The dark
was,
days.
oh man, yeah. So Schilt was way better than Matheny, and he
So
fought for his players, yada yada yada.
Concrete. Just are you talking like Mike Matheny's? Like give me a concrete like why is that a take of yours?
Well,
Like
I just want to say
better decision making, or like when to bring in a pitcher at the correct time.
Yeah, and he was also one of those guys that was like, I'm going to stick with my guys, even if they're terrible, like veterans. Like he benched Colton Wong. No, Mike Matheny.
Oh, okay.
He benched Colton Wong when Wong was coming up for a veteran who shouldn't have been playing. We should have been rolling with Wong. Now, Mike, in his defense, is a devilishly handsome man, and there's no getting around it. Okay,
Mike Matheny.
Mike
the jawline is impeccable.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, not Mike Schultz. Sorry, Mike. There's nothing personal.
Well, somewhere in the ethos of wherever he's at right now, Seth Maness was a reliever for the Cardinals.
Oh my gosh.
And talking about Mike Matheny being the manager, Seth Maness's arm just shivered from PTSD of having to come in. I mean, the guy was pitching almost every single day. And Matheny with the media and Matheny with the bullpen and Matheny sticking with his guys. And it just felt like in that era that the Cardinals were like a Lamborghini and we stuck a 16-year-old back there that didn't know what he was doing. And I will forever think that we should have had one more title from 2012 until we fired Matheny. But that Matheny, this may not be fair, but that Matheny cost us a title because we were always in it in that era.
Yep.
And I just think
Matheny
lost this one.
We were. And I think that, like Ollie, from his perspective too, and I'll finish with this last thought on Ollie. It appears that the players like to play for him. Okay, and I know there's all this outward stuff that we care about, right? Like maybe being honest with the media or like something like that we see publicly. But behind the scenes, the players have all spoken very highly of him. So I'm at least fine with that, as long as they are willing to do that, and he doesn't look like he's impeding the progress of the team a la Matheny. I honestly, I'm fine with them. I would be curious, though, and we don't have to get into this. What is our friend Heim Life Bloom Bloom going to do with Ollie at the end of his contract, which is up next year?
I would say for the major league staff, I mean, this is just me talking, but I would say for the major league staff, this is like a 1-year tryout period for everybody up there. And to me, the most important thing I need to see is, can you develop these young guys? If this is what we're going to do, if you're the kind of coach that can develop young guys, okay, you're in. And if not, Mo's leaving at the end of the year. Time is blooming up into the top job. And like, it's just so easy to bring your own guys and clean house and start over. And so I'm not sure it's fair to Ollie either, to be honest. I don't think he's a terrible manager, but yeah, this is a tryout for him, I would think.
I'm gonna chime in here and say that handling, I would say, like you said, Jonathan, we can never know outwardly. Like just some bros talking about the Cardinals, we'll never know what's going on inside the locker room, right? But I would say that the hardest part about managing at a professional level is simply handling all the egos and the conflicts that arise inside.
Yeah, you're right.
Period. Playing time
and that's what we're never going to know. We are never going to know
culture inside of the team.
Correct.
All that is 100% probably the hardest thing.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys this. So based on what you're saying with the manager maybe not having a large influence outside of things, everybody said that Craig Counsell was the best manager in baseball and he was worthy of the contract that the Cubs gave him. Okay, he left Milwaukee to go to the Cubs. Milwaukee was extremely good this year, won the division, ran the table, right? Their managers, one of the other finalists. And Counsell's Cubs were the same record as the Cardinals. Does this mean that Craig Counsell is a lesser manager or because the team is worse?
That's literally the $1 billion question, because I think it's everything all together, because the Brewers also had a GM who just left to go to the Mets. And so I think it's like a synergy between the front office and the manager. Like, if you ask me, what do I want in a manager? I would like somebody who is analytically driven, but not a slave to it. To Andy's point, I would like someone to be able to manage the personalities in the clubhouse. And then thirdly, I would like the manager to be good at like media relations. When you give your post-game press conference and I feel like you are saying things that did not happen in the game, and I have like, I don't know what your attitude is. I don't understand why your emotions are the way that they are.
Yep.
If you could give me those three things, then at some point, like it's on the players to play the game, and the manager's not fully responsible for that. Although there's this part of this that like I still want you to make the players better too. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yep. That was a purposely very difficult question because I genuinely don't know how to answer that. I mean, I think in other sports you can see the effect of a coach. I
Yeah.
think in the NBA, you really can. They run sets. There's just fewer players. There's more. Yes, if you have a great player, right? Like if you take
Right.
Steph Curry has elevated Steve Kerr. If you put Kerr on the Hornets, no offense, Hornets, is Steve Kerr, Steve Kerr. I don't know. But I think you can tell a little bit more with preparation in that there. In baseball, there's so many games. It's just so difficult to
Yeah.
really
So
So I
pinpoint
guess
that.
is a manager like this is a weird analogy, but is a manager kind of like a home plate ump? Like if they're good, you don't really notice what they do, but man, you can see it when they're bad. It's kind of like that, like it's
Yeah, yeah,
noticeable if it's bad, but
yeah.
it's difficult to tell when it's good.
the media team at church.
Man, I was just gonna say that.
Okay. Okay.
Everything's
Yeah.
going great. No one notices. Everybody's head's on a swivel when something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That's a good point. I like that.
It's a
That's
tough
exactly what I
position,
think.
but that's why there's only 30 of the jobs, and that's why you're getting paid millions of dollars. And you just, that's part of the responsibility you take on, and that's what you got.
Also, can say collectively, we should not be part of the hiring process for managers, as in we don't know what is.
No.
Hopefully, the people who make those
No, yeah.
decisions know what makes someone. Maybe they have a Chat GPT spreadsheet of all the things that they're looking for inside their candidate,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we are
All
not
hail
privy to
Heim.
that.
Let it rip,
All hail
Heim.
him. That's right.
We trust you right now. We trust you. We trust you.
All right. Well, we thank you for that. Just some things that are happening around the league. Maybe highlight Sajasi again. Cardinal fans, look out for him. Might be a name that if you see him, Thomas, the Italian Sajasi. And with that, we'll be back.
And coming back. Hey, listen, one of the things about being a Cardinals fan is like when you're a kid growing up, and like for the three of us, this is like a generational kind of thing as far as the Cardinals go. When you're a kid, you're like aware of the stats, and we definitely grew up in an era where like it was cool to track if you're going to get to 500 home runs and things like that. But like my modern fandom is much more analytically driven, and I like all the FIPS and the angle and the exit velocity and that kind of stuff too. But part of being a Cardinals fan is just like enjoying the entertainment product. And so we want to reach back today for quite a character from our mutual Cardinals past. And we're going to do this from time to time and just celebrate one of these guys. Sometimes we'll have like a personal story attached with it, sometimes not. And I don't know if you guys, I think you'll remember this guy right away. In fact, as soon as I say the name, we'll go Andy first and then Jonathan. I want you to say the first thing that comes into your mind when I say this Cardinals name. Okay. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Steve Kline. Oh, okay. Not
That's
even
what I think
English.
of. No,
Okay.
because that's it. That's the Steve Kline experience.
Okay. All right. And Jonathan?
No. Big Kahunas.
Big Kahunas.
Big Kahunas.
What,
And for
what
yes.
makes you think of like Steve Kline and the premium ice cream sandwich snack in the history of mankind? What is that connection?
I was a wee lad in the Steve Kline era, and
Aye.
and I remember sitting back in the seats whenever you two, or I think you both did, and Dad would go try to get an autograph, and this is where all Hubda came from, right? I believe. But anyway, so I'm sitting back in the seats with Mom, and of course we get these massive ice cream sandwiches, and words don't really describe what it is because I'm looking at a picture. I googled Big Kahuna ice cream sandwich, and sweet Lord have they're just enormous, and they just don't make them quite like they used to.
They
That's
don't.
that's my
They don't. Okay.
I
Well,
mean, he's known for that dirty hat, right? Like,
the hat was
he's just an entertainer.
Filthy. Yes.
Yeah, just an entertainer. Kind of like, what's that guy's
Al
Roboski.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just an entertainer, right? Like, and I feel like that's kind of like why I said I'd like to live in the bullpen because I think those guys are kind of more the artsy version of pitchers.
When you mentioned you would be a bullpen creature last week, this is the quintessential bullpen creature. Like dude comes out, his hat, uses the same hat the whole year because that hat looks like it just was in a toxic waste accident and he just slapped it straight on his head.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was he on the 2004 World Series team?
He was a Cardinals pitcher, and I had some stats. He was very effective, but I don't even want to do that yet. But he was from 01 to 04.
Yeah.
He was a lefty reliever for the Cardinals. Yes.
On a broadcast this year, they honored the 2004 team. And, you know, so I was watching that, and it's like, wow, you know, these guys I haven't seen in a long time. They pretty much look the same. Buddy Boy is a little bit bigger, which makes sense, right?
Sure.
Age gets us all.
Yeah. As one
but
does.
in the background, they're interviewing, I think they're interviewing Ray Langford, I believe.
Okay.
And
Ray.
so he's in the background. And right before they like switch the shot, he just slaps somebody on the butt super hard. And he turned around. I'm like, that's Steve Kline. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that makes sense.
That is Steve Kline. So the noise that you heard Andy referencing earlier, let me see if we can break this down for you syllable by syllable. And I have no clue what language this is with etymology.
I tell you where it came from.
House. Where did it come from?
You go ahead. No, break it down.
Well, okay, so Ugadaba. Ugadaba. You
know where that came from, Matt?
Faster? No. Well, Dad had.
You have no idea. No, you
I don't remember the origin story of this. No.
No, I don't know. Is Dad the one that made that up?
It has to be.
Yeah,
yes.
Feels like it.
Because
you know, Dad would just like walk around the house and just be like, just noises.
I mean, that's where my nickname, My Buddy Bob, comes from. It made no sense. It just is who I am.
It just is.
I think when I was thinking about it, I think that it came from Banjo Kazooie. It came from Mumbo. He does that.
Mumbo Jumbo.
He does it.
Man.
He does Oogadaba.
Yeah.
I think that's where that came from.
I mean, Andy, you are legit one of the smartest people I know, like as a human being. But the amount of dumb things that came out of your mouth as a child it's just a remarkable string of dumb Andyisms, like Bobism. Do you remember playing Mario Kart at one point? And you got this is so far off of the Cardinals, but you remember playing Mario Kart at one point and you get the star and you're invincible and you started singing, I don't know, and I don't care, get your fat butt out of my hair. People, it's just like where did this, like a man who can conquer calculus 3, where did all that come from? I don't understand.
I don't know. Speaking of that, I did go and show the kids where I actually went to Calc 3, and they were pretty entertained by that. Like they were pretty amazed by the large auditorium size classrooms that they have at college.
All right.
Either way,
we gotta stop talking about math. Yeah, it's gonna drive people away.
Yeah, sorry, we just went down to 5 listeners. The thing that I remember. Yeah, go ahead. Is definitely the thing that we all talk about, and probably my single greatest. There's 2, but this is one of 2 stories and things that I remember as a kid. Is the Steve Kline autograph day, and he was really awesome about that. They even note that when you look at some of this stuff from Steve Kline, he was like an everyman, right? He was just kind of like down to earth, just like whatever. He'd come over for autograph sessions and it wasn't past him, you know what I mean? Like what he was able to do.
Yeah.
And I have passed this trait on to my children, I think. And the fact that I observe in my kids, they're not always like it takes me a second to get into the bullpen sesh of, like crazy antics. Maybe I observe what's happening around me and make sure that can I learn or be better than anyone just by looking at what their failures are. And I did that.
So you're inserting yourself into a situation. You're scanning the kids around you.
Yeah.
And you're going to get the autograph.
Yes.
You're like scanning
to bring this all together.
Like some kind of AI to see if you can defeat these life forms.
100%. So we're standing in line at a BP before the Cardinals game.
Yep.
And I 100% I saw which direction he was headed, where the line was going. I saw a weak link in that
like
line.
A cheetah on the Serengeti, boy, you pounced.
I did. I 100% shoved a kid out of the way to get to Steve Kline. I feel bad.
What age are you? Because this really is key.
10, 11, probably.
Okay.
Okay. You're on the upper range of this being okay for you to go down there and get an autograph.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Okay. Right, Matt. Wouldn't you say that?
I recall
9,
this,
10,
but
11?
I think you were older. And how old was this kid that you shoved out of the way?
7.
No. Didn't stand a chance.
Exploited the weakness. Found it.
That's it.
Got it. Got the autograph.
That's a child felony
from Hubeda.
What did he? Did you have like a verbal interaction with him back? I mean, I know it's like a quick thing that you're doing.
No, all I literally remember that's engraved in my head. Like if I think about that moment, the only thing that's engraved in my head is sadly, is the look that kid gave me when I like muscled my way past him. That's it. I don't remember the interaction with Steve Kline. I just remember the look of like, what are you doing? As I walked past the kid, and I was like, no, this is my moment. Here it is.
Oh
Dude,
my
I bet Steve
gosh.
Kline saw you do that, and he was like, "That's a bullpen child." That's
Honestly, I respect it. That's probably what he's doing. Yep.
That's my kin.
Yeah. No.
Oh man. Okay, so that hat. Okay, would you rather? Would you now for our listeners, please take 2 seconds and just Google Steve Kline's hat on the internet. I promise you, it will come up right away.
Pull over on the side of the road if you're driving, please.
But yeah, you can do it. You can do it. Would you rather lick Steve Kline's hat or let a cockroach free in your mouth for 10 seconds?
Oh, I'm licking that hat.
Buddy, I'm taking that.
And
hat
you know
out.
me.
Yeah.
You know me from our youth. Like,
Yeah.
I would do it too. Like, I would 100% do that. It's just pine tar that and some sweat.
Yeah.
And whatever the bullpen creatures had, I think that's where COVID came from. Is Steve Kline's hat.
Could have.
Jonathan?
Absolutely could have. There is not a shot I'm letting a cockroach just
that's low.
Let a rip in there. Not a shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
that might have been too high of a bar, Matt. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, so here's the thing about Steve Kline is I think one of the reasons why you can have good memories of a player is because he's actually good. And I'm sure we'll reminisce more and we'll do more of these segments, and we can talk about at some point the fact that when I used to text Beltran's last name to anybody, it would just all caps. The autocorrect would go all caps automatically to Beltran because dude's always hitting home runs. It's like those are good memories. Well, Steve Kline, and I kind of knew this. Steve Kline was a very good reliever.
Yeah.
For 4 years from 01 to 04. I'd say his peak year, although he was good all the years, his peak year was in 2001. He pitched in 89 games. Now, that's more than half the games that the Cardinals played that year. This was also in the era where sometimes you just bring a lefty in to face a lefty batter. You didn't have the 3-batter minimum rule that you do now. But anyway, 89 games, a 1.80 ERA. And I was like, gosh, that's really good. But then I want to step further. I got a little nerdy. I went to Calculus 3 real quick, and I found out that was an ERA plus of 241. Okay, here's why I like that stat. What that stat does is, like, at various different points in the history of baseball, people have scored different amounts of runs. So what was 1.80 ERA in like 1912?
No, sure. Okay, it normalizes it.
Yes, it normalizes it. So what that means is he was 241% better. His ERA was that year than the average pitcher. So
that's crazy.
I mean, that was an incredible season for a reliever.
Well, at the end, he played for just like a lot of bullpen pitchers. Right? He's a journeyman through the league, right? And
we picked him up from the Expos. Talk about a blast from the past there. That's a RIP
goes
to
the
Expos.
Orioles, goes to the Giants. He
He
gets relegated down to AAA in his last year in 08, and like true bullpen artistry, gets ejected from a game for making contact with an umpire
in AAA.
Yeah, in AAA.
Wow.
And is released by the Giants. That was the end of Hubada's career.
Went out with a bang.
He was done.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then he gets, after playing baseball, he serves as a pitching coach for a while, as one would expect. But currently, what he's doing is
let us guess. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's guess.
Go ahead. Matt, go ahead if you got one.
I think that Steve Kline is the guy that holds the sign for construction workers to slow down on the side of the road. And he's got that hat, and you just drive by and you're like, God, that's some EPA violations right there. I'm going to have to slow down and just do it.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I'm trying to think. Do you guys remember the show on Discovery, Dirty Jobs?
Yeah.
Oh, Mike Rowe.
Yeah. I think he's the Mike Rowe replacement. I think he's just the Dirty Jobs guy.
That's great. Like I said, I don't know if I said it last episode, but he kind of looks like Ashton Kutcher. When he was playing for the Cardinals, like not now, like Jonathan kind of pointed out. Time didn't do him dirty, but I think he looks like he's related to Ashton Kutcher. But no, he is actually.
So what's he doing?
The head coach of a Division II baseball team you explained this to me. Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
Ooey pooey. Ooey Pooey,
What
Indiana
is it?
University
No,
of
that's
Pennsylvania.
Purdue University at Indianapolis is what that
Oh,
one
you're
is.
right. You're right. You're right.
But the fact that Ooey Pooey was almost interchangeable there is a problem.
Well,
I
why
just,
is Indiana University of Pennsylvania? That's no longer Indiana University.
you're right. That makes
Yeah,
no sense. But can I
makes no sense.
say that the man that we named Hudaba needs to be the head coach at Ooey Pooey? Like that's his destiny. That's where he ends his career.
Yeah. Yes.
So shout out to Banjo Kazooie.
Wow. So he went to be a coach. So he really went full circle.
Yeah.
I still got to say though, Buddy putting hands on an ump in AAA is like peak. Like that. People are just trying to make it to
on
the
your
majors.
way out of baseball and just
and if you've ever been to a AAA game too, it's really kid friendly. Like there's like inflatables and Steve's out there throwing hands with a home plate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, listen, like I said, we're going to toss this segment in every now and again, just because this is part of being a Cardinals is your memories, and especially if you've been at it for as long as we have. So I think we're in this segment here. Shouts out to autograph sessions. Shouts out to Andy's AI ability to scan people for weaknesses. Shouts to unintelligible syllables. Shouts to EPA violations on hats. And really shouts to Steve Kline, who was a good Cardinal in an era when the Cardinals were good. And for him,
Thanks for the
Steve,
memory, Steve. Yes.
Yeah. Just last thing, Steve. Get to Ooey Pooey. Come on, Hugaba. You can do it.
Come on.
All right. And with that, we'll take another break here.
Okay, we're back with another segment, a new segment that I'm calling Cardinal Confessions.
All right.
Okay. So,
am I going to receive penance for this or what?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you are. So these are confessions about baseball or the Cardinals specifically. So I have a couple of them, and I'm gonna shoot them to you. So number one is about the Cardinals. Number two is baseball in general. Are you ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, I'm ready.
All right. Number one, my confession is, I think I like the Cardinal away jerseys more than the home.
Oh.
I like the gray better than the white.
Okay.
Is that from most teams? Do you feel that way about most teams?
No. I don't know why I think white and red doesn't look that great. Now, let me pause. I like it on the Cardinals, okay? But I like the contrast of the gray and the red because we've switched to wearing red hats on the road. And I think the red, the gray, and the red, it just looks absolutely filthy.
Okay. We need to bring the Navy back. The Navy hats on the road.
You like those better?
I do. I like that a lot better.
Yeah, I have to agree with Matt. I also like the Navy ones
Okay,
a bit more.
let me give you a reason as to why I don't think that. I was out and about, and I have one of those hats, the navy blue Cardinal ones.
Yeah.
And he walked up to me and he said, "Oh, I thought that was a Red Sox hat."
Ah.
And then I thought,
sure.
Okay, well, I can't wear this again. So
hate the Swaks.
When you're on the East Coast?
Yeah, just in general. Yeah. I was like, hey, thanks. Appreciate that. So anyway,
we don't want St. Louis fans being associated with Boston fans. And that is shots fired, Boston fans. You guys are terrible.
You took two from us, so I don't care.
Go practically got the hava. You suck.
Yeah. The hava.
Okay, that's so interesting because all of my if you ask me to just close my eyes right now and picture the St. Louis Cardinals, I'm picturing them in Busch with the white jerseys. And so now does that mean like your core like if you close your eyes and you envision the Cardinals, do you see that or do you see them at like an away stadium wearing the grays?
No, I think I would just buy a gray jersey, although I have a white jersey. But when I close my eyes and I think of the Cardinals, I think of the Sunday hat. Because that is the single most impressive and best Cardinal uniform.
On the bat hat.
Real quick
two-tone. Yep.
Is that I hope maybe that the MLB does something kind of what the NBA is doing with this group play in-season tournament thing, and the fact that I know that you can do a lot more things with the NBA boards, like the actual thing that they're playing on, like the court.
Oh, the court, yeah.
Yes, it's called the court. Yeah,
I know. The boards.
When you put them together, it makes a court.
The boards are changed, is what I mean. The court is changed. And I hope that because it allows some creative juices to flow.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
Some
that
pretty
is nice.
awesome looking sets that they have. I'm not saying that we get what college team has the blue grass? Boise State.
Boise State. Yeah.
I'm not saying that we have we go to Bush and there's blue grass out there, but I don't know, something like that. Just in terms of their jerseys or their look, the aesthetic, something is different.
Here's the problem, though. The MLB already has Players Weekend where they can put whatever they want on the back of their jerseys, and they are so bad at it because no offense to Paul Goldschmidt, put him in a red jacket, great Cardinal. I don't want him back, but like just great Cardinal. the guy's back of his jersey just says Goldie. So like, give me something else. Like I think we need to be
bring
in charge
Steve
of this
Kline in to like
JC. Yes, Ugraba. So JC needs to be the Italian. We need to get a kind of shirt in there. Yeah.
I mean, we do, from a jersey perspective, to tie this back, we do have the City Connects that they released this year. It's been the last couple years.
I did like those. Yes, those grew on me.
And I really like the jersey. And if you haven't seen these, the jersey is extremely strong. It's unique. It kind of plays into like the brick that we have, the coloring. Yeah. It's a red jersey. We've never had a red jersey other than in spring training. But the hat is like it's just not enough for me. It's very, like we played at Rickwood Field this year, the Cardinals did. And the Rickwood hat was very similar to like our City Connect hat. It's just red and it says STL on the front with like some kind of funky font. Thought the jerseys were strong. So take a look at those. See what you think about that. But so that's my first confession. I like the gray better than the white.
That's an interesting one. We're going to have you say 7 Hail Marys to get over that one. That was good.
Well, I did beforehand, so I'm covered.
Oh, okay. All right. Perfect. Great.
Okay, my second one is not Cardinal specific, but it's baseball related. Here it is.
Okay.
I think that player celebrations are not excessive enough.
Yes. I agree.
I think we need more of it.
Yes.
More spice and people to get irritated more often.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Yes. What do we think? Andy says yes. Matt, what do you think?
I don't know. I do like, I'm definitely not like an old man get off my lawn. I do like them. I like a bat flip. I enjoy it. But what do you have in mind here? I guess is what I'm thinking.
So I don't know. I kind of like the bullpen or the dugout stuff where they're like, after they hit a home run, they're like holding up a sign and taking a shot, and they're showing that on the feed.
I like all of that. I just need to know what these extreme celebrations are.
So here's an example. I need to see somebody absolutely pimp a fly out to left field.
Oh.
Okay, like you don't know, so you're getting a little bit more like you're getting closer. Okay, so
like
there's
the defender, you mean? The defender?
No, like the batter. Like so if the batter absolutely nukes one, he like throws the bat in the air and like walking, he's like watching it. Like, wouldn't it be hilarious if somebody's like, and that's a fly out to left field, and the guy's like pimped it like he just hit it 300 or 400 or 500 feet. Here's the other one. I don't really like Jazz Chisholm that much. Nothing against him.
Sure.
But he does like a Euro step, like NBA Euro step around third and into home. Okay. And I also, so those are from batting just a little more excessive. Like if people would do it more, right? More emotion. And then from a pitching perspective, we need a little more Lance Lynn, like people just screaming at people.
Yeah.
Now that,
or just yelling.
100%
like getting,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is just to cause, I'm hoping what happens here is that it causes a little more excitement. The games are already short enough.
Yes.
But the MLB
they did do a good job with that, right?
Yeah. But by like showing like, oh, look at, Goldschmidt blinked 6 times instead of 5. Can you believe that?
Yep.
Like, I don't know, something like that.
Okay, so picture this. Albert Pujols takes Brad Lidge deep into the train at Minute Maid Park in Houston.
Yeah.
And are you talking about like Pujols bat flips, just whatever he wants to do, like grinds it down to a toothpick and then flicks that, whatever he wants to do. And they just stares directly into Brad Lidge's eyes and just tears his jersey completely in half off his body. You're good?
Yeah. What? Yeah. Go ahead, Andy.
Well, or yes to that thing. And could we, after we have a home run, how like the defense, like we get a pick 6 or something like that, right? Or a changing moment of defense in football, and they all like motion each other like, hey, come on, and then they'll go like do a dance in front of that new camera they set up in the end zone, something like that, like over by the dugout, and each team can have their own little like section or dance or whatever they want to do, a celebration to celebrate that home run.
So
game for a second.
Yeah. So in college, they let you run out onto the field after a home run and like celebrate like a walk-off if it's just like a home run in the 3rd inning. Okay. That would be interesting if people would do that. But again, I'm driving towards just more activity, more just chippiness, more excitement.
Yeah, like Juan Soto in the box where he's like staring down the pitcher and doing that weird sweet thing. He's like got his butt out like, what's up, dude?
I hate the shuffle, but I love it from
I hate that.
from the other team, like then I want my pitcher to be like, please strike this guy out, even though he's probably
exactly.
the greatest.
Oh, I want my pitcher to drill him in the ribs. I know that's the wrong thing to say out loud,
like, but if they were all doing it, it would kind of normalize that, and it would bring in that like European soccer, football like feel, like of like. There's so much distinct. Exactly what happened with the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. The reason it was showmanship that sold that, and I think that 100% is missing inside.
I don't disagree because I do sports hate the Soto shuffle, but if he was on my team, like I would love that.
Exactly. And so if you had guys on the Cardinals doing stuff like that, it'd be like, oh yeah, let's go, boy.
Yeah. Yes. I agree with that. I just think maybe just a little something that I don't know, would just spice it up just a little bit more.
So like my son played t-ball for the first time this year. So you're saying like he'd hit it and like they were really big on him not trying to kill each other with like a bat flip, like to murder a child.
Sure, we love that.
And so they were real big on like, what do you do with the bat after you hit the ball off the tee?
Oh, right.
And so he would just walk down to first and held it like Lady Liberty, like the Statue of Liberty, like all the way down to first, and then would just put it down at first base.
Hey, you know what? Freddie Freeman did that in a walk-off grand slam in Game 1 of the World Series. So
that, I am all on board for that, Johnny. Just a little bit more emotion.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, but before we go, I want to give you guys an opportunity. Did you think of anything on the fly that would work? Do you have any of yourself?
I do have one. Yes, I do. I do have one.
Right,
this is going to be just incredibly unpopular in Cardinals Nation. I did not like Yadier Molina that much.
I heard a story.
Man.
Well, I heard a story, and Matt, you may be the one that told me, and I looked into it afterwards. The worst person to manage was Yadi. I think according to Mike Matheny. Matt, was this me, you and I that were talking about this? I think
this is a classic. I heard that story from a guy who knew a guy who sat in a room with Mike Matheny while he told that story. Yes.
So why do you say that? Why do you say you didn't like Yadi? Let me hear.
So that people will just continue to listen to our podcast. I appreciate Yadier Molina. I think he's Hall of Famer. I enjoyed Yadier Molina's play, but he was never my favorite Cardinal. Like when you'd go to Cardinals games, he'd get the loudest cheers. I just was never like that compelled with Yadi, the personality, Yadi, the person.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. There's just way too many times when he would just like mash a ground ball into shortstop and run at 2.7 miles an hour down the first base line. And listen, I don't have anything against people who do this either. I'm not a tattoo guy. So like the neck I just was never like Yachty was never, ever my favorite Cardinal. And I know that's kind of a crazy thing to say, but I just didn't like it.
Yeah, no. I will say just a quick pro Yachty thing. Not that you're against this, but watching him absolutely rifle people out.
Yes,
after seeing Ivan, like it looks like Ivan Herrera, our current catcher, one of the current catchers, is throwing a wiffle ball to second. Like it really looks like that. If you've ever tried to throw a wiffle ball really hard, it doesn't move.
It does.
So you look back at Yachty and like if somebody was running, they were probably going to be out. So I would like to see some of that come back. But I don't disagree.
I did enjoy that. And like completely hypocritically, when Yachty threw somebody out, especially when he picked some guy off first base and was like back there pounding his chest, I also was pounding my chest. So I'm a complete hypocrite for this.
Yes.
But it just something about Yachty's thing, it just was not for me. I didn't like it.
Oh, I don't disagree with that. All right, that's beautiful. Andy, do you have anything?
I do not.
He'll pass. All right, that was Cardinal Confessions. We might see that one again in another show. But we're going to take one last break and get to the end here.
Welcome back. I'd like to walk this off with some wisdom. And I teetered on a meme. I teetered on something, but I'm just going to give you a little bit of Andy right here, right from the heart.
Buckle up.
Yeah.
So what is walk-off wisdom? Like what is this going to be?
Well,
or you just don't
I'm
even
gonna
want to
walk it
it
off. I'm gonna walk it off with some wisdom. Here it is. So I think that my wall, if you're going through your Amrons of the world and through the buildings, like the business, and they have all those cliched posters on the board, right? Where or the break room, right? You're just at, and basically the things are, don't kill yourself, life's worth it, is basically, I think, the theme of most of those things. Here's mine. Here's my pitch. And then I'll get real world with what it actually means to me.
Okay.
Is this. Here's in the break room. Motivation comes and goes, but commitment is always there. And what that means to me, okay, is this. When, like I said, I am not a world-class athlete. I'm not professing to be one. I am not that great at things, but I am consistently in a workout routine. Okay. I don't remember how hard the last like mile 6 is of a 10K run. I don't remember it the next day. What I remember is whether or not I ran it or not, whether I finished it or not. And I think that's the difference between like the motivation comes and goes. Like there's some miles that it's really easy to go and do what I need to do. But then, at the end of the day is, did you do it or not? And here's another one, like not workout related. Like listen, you're like, I don't work out. Okay, that's fine.
I was going to say, I don't remember the 6 mile of a 10K because I've never done one.
I'll give it to like a real life application. You go on vacation and you look back at the memories that you made. Okay. You do not remember the small inconveniences, the attitude that maybe a kid had or your spouse did, or the mood that you're in. You don't remember that unless it was like catastrophic. Right. But so you do remember the things different, right? Like you remember, oh yeah, I had fun doing that. You don't remember, oh yeah, I kind of was like hangry right there and I was really wanting a big kahuna. You just simply remember that's it. Is the motivation comes and goes. The reason why you're there, the reason what you're doing is there. It comes and goes, right? But what is remaining, the commitment is always there with you.
Amen. I'm snapping my fingers. It was, I felt like there was a little slam poetry too. I like that. That was beautiful.
Wow. Let's let that be for your Cardinals fandom, for your marriage, for your job, for your hobbies. That's it.
I mean, maybe not really. Just you don't remember the bad stuff as much as you do the good, and remember that. Focus on that. That's
especially during the 2025 season of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Exactly. Just look for, a few players that you are, happy about, and stay committed to that. Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Redbird Rundown, your go-to spot for all things St. Louis Cardinals. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review the show to help us grow the Redbird Rundown community. And just a big shout out if you made it this far into the pod. I really appreciate it. I know you guys have busy schedules, things to listen to. A little mild shout out to you, brother, if you're here with us. Follow us on Twitter at Redbird Rundown 2, and find us on Facebook at Redbird Rundown Podcast for all the latest news, behind the scenes content, and more. Until next time, keep those rally caps on, and of course, let's go Cards.